Hi guys, welcome to the quarantine edition of the Villager Vlogs. We hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and we can't wait to see you all soon.
Back MHS, we're here with Sophia talking about the math tutoring they're doing for the high school students. So why did you decide to tutor for the younger kids?
I just thought about how I usually help in math lab during my study halls, and I just thought since there are still kids who would need help even though we're not still in there, because I was thinking about how I still have classes and I still have a ton of work, so I'm assuming everyone else does too. So I figured everyone else could use some help.
And how helpful do you think this could be for those younger kids?
I think it could make them feel like a little less alone during it because, if you're not in a classroom, you're not talking to anyone. If you have someone to talk to work you through problems, it might feel like you have someone to help you get through it.
Yeah, and then where can parents and students find you guys?
They can email any of the 5 tutors. So
Okay.
either me, Bree, Maddie Williams, Emma, or Morgan Golden.
Cool.
Our emails were in the email, like the mass email.
And I'm sure we can put those in the description of this video too, just to make it easier. And then are you guys right now, you're only doing math, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then is this something we could see in the future with you guys, tutoring at all, even when we're not in quarantine?
Yeah, I think it could actually work because during school, because some people might not be able to go to math lab during their study hall. I know even for people to tutor, some people are really busy during study hall. So they might be able to do some tutoring sessions outside, or you might be able to do more tutoring sessions that aren't in study hall with Zoom. So I think it could work even in school.
Well, thank you so much. What you're doing is awesome. So
Thanks, so.
Yep.
Hello, MHS, and welcome to our first edition of Cooking in Quarantine. I'm your host, Nicolina, and right now I'm in my kitchen eating our first recipe because it's actually so good. So, now that we're in a really weird and scary situation, grocery stores are a much scarier place to be than they were before, and now we're all stuck at home, so that means that some of us have had the misfortune of celebrating our birthdays in quarantine. So that's why I thought about, making this particular recipe. And today we'll actually be making a mug cake, and I'm so excited to show you guys how to make it. Now, I know what you're thinking, Nicolina, you can't make a good cake in a mug and with your microwave. Well, that's what I told myself before I decided to make this cake, and I proved myself wrong, and so will you. So without further ado, let's learn to make some cake. So for this recipe, you will need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Now, if you don't have this flour, or if you want something else, you can use whole wheat flour or gluten-free flour in its place. The recipe also calls for 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And you can adjust the amount of sugar in your cake as much as you need to. It also calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And after that, you will need 1 tablespoon of canola oil or melted coconut oil or butter. And if you don't have any of those or don't want those in your cake, you can substitute that with applesauce. After that, you will need 3 tablespoons of a non-dairy milk. Now, I'm using this Fairlife milk here, and if you want to use something else like almond milk or cashew milk, soy milk, or even regular milk, that is also fine. After that, you will need 1/2 teaspoon of this vanilla extract. And last but not least, this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of vegan chocolate chips. Now, I do not have vegan chocolate chips with me today, so instead I will be crushing 2 tablespoons of dark chocolate. Alright guys, so you're basically going to start off by getting a mug, and we're going to put our dry ingredients inside of it. So that's our flour, our cocoa powder, sugar, salt, and baking powder. And after you put those in, you're going to mix them together, which I have already done. And once you mix them, it looks like this. And after you put all your dry ingredients together, it's time to add the wet ingredients. So that's your milk, your oil, and your vanilla, which I've mixed together in this little itty bitty bowl. So once you mix those together, you add them to your wet ingredients. And then you basically start stirring it until it looks like an actual cake batter. And once you're done with mixing all of that, then your cake batter is going to look like this, and it looks really good already. So this is when you add your final touch, which I'm so excited about. It is my crushed up dark chocolate chunks. Now, so you basically just add these to your mixture. Just add that in there. And what they're meant to do is that they're kind of a topping. That's what the recipe said they're supposed to be. But if you want to mix them into your cake to make like a chocolate chip cake, then you are more than welcome to do so. And guys, it looks so good. Look at that presentation. It's not even in the microwave yet, and it already looks so good. Alright guys, it is now the moment of truth. We are sending this cake off to bake. How long we're going to bake it? It all depends on how gooey you want the center of your cake to be. So if you want your cake to be more gooey at the center, then you will put it in the microwave for about 40 seconds. If you want to be less gooey, you'll put it in for about 50 to 60 seconds, which is what I'm going to do. So overall, it's going to take your cake between 40 seconds to a minute to bake. Now I'm so excited about this. I'm going to see you guys when this is finally done. Alright guys, my cake is done, and it's finally time for a grand reveal. This is it, guys. This is the cake. Now I know you can't see much of it because it's like really deep in this mug, but it's baked just the way I wanted it to be, and it smells so good. I know, I'm sorry you can't smell this, but I swear it smells really good. I can't wait to taste this. Alright guys, so thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey of cake making. You know, this recipe really is great if you're low on ingredients and you don't want to go to the store right now, especially, you know, during these hard times. And I hope that making this cake was as fun for you as it was for me, and I hope that making it will help you make the best out of what's going on around us. And I also hope that you have a fun break, as long as we have a break, and that, you know, one day our community will be able to unite, and all of us at MHS will be able to show up to school and, you know, do that as we've once done many times before. Alright guys, I'll see you when that happens. I hope you have a fun break. Bye!